that. It's
Okay.
now pointing at you, just so you know, or at your hand.
Oh,
which
well,
is fascinating.
No,
content.
it's not.
Hi, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
Hi.
My name is Ryan.
Hi, Ryan. Sure. You're doing everything. You're holding the mic. You're asking the questions. Very talented.
First question is kind of why you out here.
Okay.
Why you out here?
Why am I here?
Well, yeah.
Great question. Should I hold this or you're going to
I can hold that.
Okay.
Yeah, go for it.
All right. I'll do it. Okay. I am here trying to drum up whatever support I can for Hillary Clinton's campaign in Iowa. I think that this is a really, really critical election, and Iowa is a battleground state. A lot hangs in the balance here. Am I supposed to be talking into the lens? Because I am.
Yeah, you can talk to me. You can talk to me.
I think that this is an election where we can't afford to be complacent, and so I am drumming up as much support as I possibly can, particularly in college towns where there appear to be a lot of people on Snapchat who are eligible to vote and need to get out there.
Is voting in this election more important than
I think
any
voting in this election is particularly critical because I think that Donald Trump is particularly unfit for the presidency, and him taking the Oval Office is a scenario that we cannot afford to risk.
And it's very important. The message is kind of being very important for people to get out and vote, especially in this election.
Yeah, so especially in this election, it is very, very important for people to get out and vote. I think that Donald Trump is woefully unqualified for the presidency, and so we cannot afford to risk having him in the Oval Office and at the command of our military. So get out and vote. Vote for Hillary Clinton. And thanks for your hospitality, Iowa.
Signatures next.
Thank you.
Misha.
I want to greet you. I'm State Representative of K.R. Sama,
Oh my goodness.
and you're in my district.
Wow,
So
what
I
an
want
honor
to
to meet
welcome
you.
you here.
Thank you so
know,
much.
And I'm glad I got here just a minute ago. I'm sorry I didn't bring you a token from Iowa to give to you.
That's all right. I already got a Dutch letter.
Okay,
So
that'll work. That'll work.
and I took a photo with a combine, so
Okay.
I'm taking care of
You're
it.
in good shape.
Thank you so much
All
for
right.
coming out to meet me. That is
Definitely.
really, really an honor and a privilege.
So believe me, our honor. And
Well,
thank you for
thank you.
coming to push the campaign.
I'm very, very
And
happy
meeting
to
the
meet
folk
you.
in Iowa.
Yeah.
Now I got one question.
What?
If I can take a quick picture.
Of course.
So I can put it in my.
How would I
I've
do a
already
selfie?
working
You want to do a selfie?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect.
Okay.
All right. We're doing a live stream of a selfie, which is fascinating.
Thank you.
All right.
brother. Appreciate you.
I have to run inside and talk to people right
Misha?
now. I
Appreciate you. I just want to get your
I
hand
need
one
you
more
to sign a
time.
couple of things before we leave. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Take care. Thank you.
All right. There's 3 things here. If you could sign.
Yes, of course. My flight leaves pretty soon. So
Yep.
I
We're
need
trying to rush you. We're going to take you right in.
Get in there and. Thank you.
All right.
All right.
Let's take you in. Akea, would you hold on a second and watch that?
This is our student.
Go ahead. You go.
Oh my God, that's terrifying. Wow, there are a lot of people here. Hi, Des Moines. Wow. So, here, will you hold this again, or
Yep.
somebody?
Yep.
I'm just trying to keep everybody safe. So, no, you're fine. This is great. Hi again. Good to see you. Wow. So, first of all, hello. Hello. I would like to apologize to everyone. It was my idea. Are you okay? It was my idea to meet in coffee shops. This is an awesome looking coffee shop, but it's a little crowded, so I apologize for
It's okay.
that. But I think it's very cozy. Wouldn't you agree? As you may have gleaned from my posts on social media, I am here because I want us to elect Hillary Clinton for president. It is not only is the thought of a Trump presidency something that we cannot afford to risk, but it is high time for this country to have a woman president. And in Hillary Clinton, not only do we have a female who's running for the highest office in the land and the most powerful position in the world, but we also have somebody who is incredibly well qualified for the position. She is very probably the most qualified presidential candidate that has come down the pipe in our lifetimes. So I am endorsing her 100%, as you can tell by the fact that when I was a child, just out of elementary school, I interned in the Clinton White House. That's a lie. I was a little bit older, but I interned in the Clinton White House, and what I saw there were people who were trying their very best to make the country a better place. Missteps, of course, are made along the way in any administration, and no person is perfect, but she has devoted her entire adult life to the service of this country, and I think that that's something that we cannot forget about. So I'm going to... I'm just going to maybe answer some questions. Not that I am an expert on anything, but I am happy to answer questions.
Right here.
Right there. High school newspaper. Can you see what? Yeah.
I think so.
Okay.
I mean,
Here. Come in a little bit so we get the interior sounds instead of the street sounds. Yes. What is your question?
Why did you choose to come to Iowa to get voters or like people to register?
Why did I come to Iowa?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I've never been to Iowa and always wanted to come. So that was an exciting prospect to me. Also, when I contacted the campaign and asked where I could be best used and best of most service, they said, go to Iowa. So the campaign sees Iowa as a critical state in the election, and they thought that I was most useful here in this Mars coffee shop. So it's good to know, like, this is it. They have their finger on the pulse, and this is where it counts. I think that the campaign it really wants to get young people out to vote. A lot of you look like you fit that bill. Some of you look like you might be a little too young to vote. You are very. You have an amazing plastic surgeon. Yes.
Hello again. So, really, a kind of a big question. Why I don't support what Trump said about women, I find it very offensive. But you have Clinton that called us deplorables. How is what Trump said everybody attacking, but what Clinton said people just want to ignore?
Well, when Clinton referred to, she said half, I think she was speaking in broad brushstrokes, and I believe she said half of Trump supporters are what she calls the basket of deplorables, and these were people who are racist and misogynistic, and she said a bunch of things that shouldn't have been said, and the term deplorables should never be used to paint wide swaths of the American electorate, and she has apologized for that, and clearly that was a bad choice of words. That kind of name calling is not nice, and it lowers the quality of the debate overall, but the words that Trump used and the actions that he described are tantamount to sexual assault, and that is orders of magnitude different and something that could never be condoned. And actually, I find those words, I find it appalling that someone can utter those words, have them aired publicly, and still forge on with his candidacy. I'm astonished that he doesn't just back out of the race after saying something like that. So that is what I perceive to be the difference. Yes?
Opinion on not this election, but third party and future elections.
I've said this before. I think that this particular election it is too dangerous to lodge third-party votes. Of course, everybody has the right to vote for whomever they want. That's what makes this democracy so wonderful. But it's dangerous. You know, we're playing with fire at this moment. I think in past elections, we were dickering in the margins a little bit more. You know, the difference between past candidates has been less dramatic. I think the difference between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump is so huge and it's such a dangerous proposition to have a Donald Trump presidency that now is not the time to register those third-party votes. That's my opinion. That said, a third-party vote is orders of magnitude better than a Donald Trump vote, and I wish we would have a more diverse set of choices in elections. I don't know why we're saddled with this two-party system. I know I'm standing here, you know, stumping for one of the two parties, and they probably don't want me saying that, but I think that we would have a much more fruitful political discourse if we had more voices that were in the mix. But this doesn't feel like the right time to me.
What can people do to get involved?
Well, there are several representatives of the campaign here who will raise their hands. Maybe if you're not a representative, don't raise your hand at the moment. Here's one. There's one. There's another. You can sign up to volunteer. You can register yourself to vote. You can vote. You can get your friends to vote as long as they're not voting for Trump. Yeah, you can stay active and engaged and not be complacent. I think one of the worst things that can happen in a situation like this is to throw up your hands in despair and say your vote doesn't count, your voice doesn't matter. In recent elections, the presidency has been decided by just a few hundred votes across a country of hundreds of millions. So your vote does count. Your vote in particular in Iowa counts because you guys are a battleground state. So it's critical that you let your voices be heard because it's entirely possible that the state of Iowa will hinge on the number of votes that are held in this room alone. So don't forget that and don't squander your vote by staying at home. Yes?
Why do you think that Clinton's financial plan is superior to other financial plans? And also, would you like a copy of our newspaper?
I would love a copy of your newspaper. And I have not had an opportunity to bore into the fine print of Clinton's tax plan or her financial plans as you paint them in broad strokes. I can say that there's a big difference between hers and Donald Trump's. Donald Trump's has been derided by many economists and looks like it's going to cause a lot of economic problems. I think the fact that after last night's debate, people were looking to see if Donald Trump were going to pull a miracle and somehow revive his campaign. When that didn't happen, when he turned in an expectedly poor performance, the stock market did well. That's because the markets are afraid of a Trump presidency. That's because they know that a Trump presidency has a very likely chance of damaging the economy. So I think the fact that the people that know the most about our economy, the people who are trading in our economy on Wall Street, are relieved when Trump does poorly in a debate speaks volumes. Yes, in the back.
What exactly made you support Hillary?
As I've said, Hillary is somebody that I have seen for the past 2 decades devote herself to civil service, and I know that she is committed to trying to make the government of the United States work for as many Americans as possible, not just for the elite. And I think that is the purpose of our government. I also think that she will project America in the world in a way that we want to be projected. I don't think that she will turn us into an isolationist and scary, dangerous machine run by a demagogue. So that's fine. I know I'm defining my terms in weird ways right now, but that's how I feel. Yes, sir.
As someone who fought to ensure that women have a right to be judges of their own bodies, what do you have to say regarding Mr. Trump stating should be punished?
Donald Trump, as some of you may know, when asked about reproductive rights, said that women who choose to have abortions should be punished. I don't really put much weight behind those words, because Donald Trump has also said that he's, quote, very pro-choice. He has waffled on a lot of issues, and he, I think, stakes out a position wherever it's most politically expedient at the time. So what he actually plans to do when he takes office, I have no idea. I don't think that there's any way conceivable that we would wind up in a country where women are getting punished for terminating pregnancies. I just don't think that that would ever come to pass in modern America. But I certainly do know that Donald Trump is a loose cannon, and he's an unknown entity. We do not know what we're getting, because he dissembles and he changes his mind so
But
frequently.
were there to be 3 open seats on the court, the whole balance
That's
of
true.
power could radically
That's
change.
true. That's a
Trump has already named people
Yep.
in his 20 composite list of men who would sit on the court are all people who have
That's true.
spoken
I
out.
think one thing that we can be confident about is that if Donald Trump were elected president, we would get new male justices on the Supreme Court. Yeah. Anyone else? Hi.
Hi, yes, I just wanted to say on behalf of many people with disabilities, thank you for doing this. And I'm speaking for my daughter. This is from her, she wasn't able to see it due to reference, but it's so important for people to get out and vote. And
Thank you.
thank you, really.
Thank you
Thanks so much for doing this.
for sharing that. I have to say, it's really moving to see so many people turn out. This is amazing, and it feels a little bit strange to me, because I'm here talking to you because I'm on a sci-fi show. I'm in Iowa.
Yes.
Throwing my support behind Hilary Clinton in a coffee shop, standing on a chair, because I play an angel on the CW. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me, but I do feel passionate about this, and I frankly feel like I'm not a huge fan, generally speaking, of celebrities using their soapboxes to share their political views. But I think that we're at kind of a crisis point here where it would be dangerous and irresponsible for me not to do that. If I can just turn a couple of votes because I happen to have a lot of followers on Twitter, then I feel like it's kind of my civic duty. So that's why I'm here. And thank you guys. I don't like to discriminate against people who are tardy because I'm always late. So I'm going to go outside and say hi to people that are standing outside in the line. And I have a plane to catch, so I'm not going to be able to take pictures with everybody. But thank you so much. Hi guys. So, I'm going to give this to you again if you want to just follow me along for a second.
You got it.
Hi guys. Hi small man. I will, but only because he's cute. I can't actually take pictures with everyone today.
Liam, look at.
Liam, look at this picture. Look, Liam.
Just move back this way for a second. You got it. All right, I think I'm going to stop this.
I'm stranded.
All right, thank you guys. I'm going to talk to these people outside, and it's not going to make for a very good stream. So thank you. Register to vote. Get your friends to register. Don't be complacent. Bye. Thank you.
Misha, a friend of mine told me that you were here. She